Hey guys, Duncan here. Welcome back to the channel. As always, if you enjoyed this video, I'd really appreciate it if you could hit like and subscribe. It definitely helps me out, and it'll make me even more happy to make more videos for you guys. All right, so a little intro here. This is part 2 of a 2 series. The first part was my review of the Glock 43, how I liked it. It is a relatively new handgun for me. I have not owned it, obviously, before. Now this one is mostly for beginners, so if you're not a beginner, you still may find this helpful, but you also may probably already know all this. Right now the coronavirus or the pandemic is in full swing. There's a lot of brand new gun owners out there, a lot of firearm owners, people buying their first handgun, their first long gun. So this review is kind of to help the new folks out there. Maybe you just picked this up. You just bought a Glock 43. Maybe you bought a Glock 19, a Glock 17, a Glock 26, any model. They're all pretty much the same. This is a single stack Glock, as I said in my earlier video. This magazine does not go to this firearm. This is from a Glock 19. It's a 10 round, and a Glock 19 is a double stack. A double stack means, and bear with me here, I'm kind of the cameraman and the announcer at the same time. But when the ammunition is in the magazine, it kind of looks like this, like they're almost side by side, but not entirely. They're offset just a little bit, but it is for the most part what you would call a double stack, meaning they're kind of side by side. A single stack, which is the Glock 43, the offset is much less significant, so for all intents and purposes it's like a straight line. Again, they're offset just a little bit, but for the most part, it's like a straight line. And as you can tell, between the difference here at the Glock 19 magazine and the Glock 43, a single stack, the single stack is much thinner. There's a lot of guns on the market that are a single stack. Probably the most famous is the 1911. That's a single stack. Lots of other ones out there. But again, for the new folks out here, a 19, a 26, a 17, numerous Glocks, most Glocks are a double stack. The 43 and its 40 millimeter comparison as opposed to 9 millimeter as a single stack. So I hope that helps some folks out there. So again, if you're brand new to this firearm, obviously safety first. I know this is unloaded. Obviously you can see the ammunition is sitting right here on the table, so it's clearly unloaded. But let's review how do you check to make sure it's unloaded. So first thing you want to do is you want to remove the magazine if there's a magazine in it. So for demonstration purposes, I'm going to put a magazine in here. So you pick up your firearm. I don't know if it's loaded. How do I check? So right here on the right hand side, you see there's no magazine release. On the left hand side, you see a button right here, which is the mag release. You press this button, magazine comes right out. That does not mean the firearm is unloaded though, because there could still be a round in the chamber. Again, this is very important. You've released the magazine, the gun could still be loaded. There could still be a round in the chamber. So how do you check that? Very easy. Point the firearm in a safe direction. Right over here, this little lever is what locks the slide open. So every time you're shooting, the slide's going back and it's chambering a new round, and pushing the slide forward. On your last round, the slide is going to lock back. This is going to go up automatically. You can do it on your own to check to make sure it's empty by pushing the slide back with one hand and with your thumb pushing this slide lock button up. And if you can see right here, there's a little bit of an indent, which is where the slide catch is going to hold the slide back. So I'm just going to grab it, push it back, push this little lever up, and now the slide is locked back. You can also see right here all the way through the grip to see that there's nothing in the chamber. There's no magazine. This firearm is totally safe, totally empty. Once again, to review, you want to make sure the magazine is out. You want to lock the slide back, and you want to look, and you're going to see that it is clearly empty. So again, this is empty. All right, how else? What else can I show you guys as new Glock firearm owners? Let's say you're at the range now. Now you want to shoot the gun. So you take your ammo, and you need to load your magazine. So how do you do that? Well, the magazine, if you look at it, has a backside which has a bunch of numbers, and these numbers here tell you the capacity of the magazine so you know how many rounds are in it. and then the front side has nothing. To load a bullet, a cartridge, ammo, whatever you'd like to call it, into the magazine, what I do, and again, a lot of people may do this in a different way, different order, they might use the speed loader. What I personally do is I hold the magazine in my left hand with the numbers facing me and the front facing away from me, and then I take the bullet one at a time, and you just, this has a spring, this is called the follower. You take the bullet, you start here at the front, push it in, take the next one, put it on top, do the same thing, and you just continue. And you want to start at the front because the magazine has two pieces of steel that are kind of right here, and they keep the round in there. So you want to start in the front, go down and push it under that lip, that piece of steel. It gets progressively harder as you put in more and more rounds, especially on a Glock magazine when they're new. The springs are very hard, and that's it. So I've put 6 rounds into this magazine that holds 6 rounds, and if you look, it's hard to see this on camera, but there's holes here. So this is obviously round number 1. You don't need a viewing port. The hole here says 2, this one says 3, 4, 5, and 6. And if you look at, for example, 5 and 6, again, it's hard to see on the camera, but I can clearly see that there's a round in here. So it is showing me that there's 6 rounds in this firearm. Now, you're at the range, hypothetically. You want to start firing the firearm. So since I'm in my apartment, I don't want to put live ammo in the gun for this video. So I'm going to show you with an empty magazine here. So the empty magazine, just like the one that's loaded, if this were at the range, you would take the loaded magazine, and with the bullet facing forward and the numbers facing back, you would insert it like this. For demonstration purposes, I'm going to take the empty one. Bullets facing forward, numbers facing towards me. I'm going to put it in. I'm going to slide the magazine all the way up until it clicks. Now it's fully seated. Everything is smooth on this side. Presumably, there would be a round right here in the chamber, or right here in the magazine that you could see through the slide. And then in order to fire, you would want to use your thumb and depress the slide release, which would go like this. That would chamber the round, and then you would be good. Obviously, keep your finger here. You want to get a good solid grip. You would aim, and when you're prepared, you would pull the trigger to fire. You would be able to shoot this 6 times, because this particular gun, the Glock 43, holds 6 rounds. On your final round, what's going to happen is the slide is going to go back and lock open. Now, if you're at the range, you would hit the magazine release, take the magazine out, take your next magazine, put it in, hit the slide release button again, and then you would continue firing. So that essentially is how you use the Glock 43, how you use any Glock. Again, the only difference between this Glock and pretty much every other one on the market is this is a single stack. I think the 43X is also a single stack. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure it is. I think that has a 10 round capacity. And then there's a 40 caliber version of this as well. This is the 43, that might be called the 42, I don't remember. I'm trying to think what else here. Another thing that you guys might find helpful, let's say you're done at the range and you want to clean the firearm, you want to take it apart. Very easy to do. So I'm going to take the magazine out. I'm going to again check to make sure that it's unloaded, and it is. The slide is locked back. There's no magazine, there's no round in the chamber here. I'm going to release the magazine, or the slide forward again. Now with the Glock, in order to remove the slide, you do have to depress the trigger. So I'm aimed in a safe direction. I know it's empty. I've pulled the trigger, and now, as you could see, hopefully in the camera here, there's a little indent with a little lever that's spring-loaded that goes down. There's the same one on the other side of the gun. So what you want to do, and how I do it, is I take my right hand and I grip the firearm like this, and using my right hand I pull the slide back just a little bit, maybe ½ an inch, and then I use my left hand and I come under it and I pull the 2 tabs, these 2 levers, down. So I'm going to try to do this on camera and talk to you guys. So using my right hand, I'm pulling the slide back just a little bit. Using my left hand, I'm pulling these 2 levers down, and I'm just going to push the slide forward, and it comes right off. And that's pretty much it. So this is the lower. This is the polymer piece. This is the trigger assembly. I have another video that shows how to clean the Glock. It is actually an old video, so I'll probably make a new one. I've got a little better lighting here, a little better camera, a little better audio. but very easy to clean. And again, I will make another video about that. And then the upper right here, super easy. You have basically 3 parts. I mean 4 if you want to take apart the whole firing pin and all that, and I'll get into that during the cleaning video. But essentially, you just remove this spring, you remove the barrel, and that's it. You have the slide, the barrel, and the spring. You do have the firing pin. There's a couple of pieces in here, the extractor, the ejector, whatever you'd like to call it. This is a little dirty. I've been firing this at the range. I do need to clean it. But that's pretty much it. And to reassemble it, and again, I'll get into the details of how to clean this piece in another video. You take the barrel, put the barrel back in, take the spring, put it back in. You take the slide, and it has these 2 channels right here, and you're going to see on the lower there's these 2 metal tabs right here that what the slide slides into. You're going to take it, line it up. Forgive me, it's always a little bit hard to do this with one hand while you're trying to film. I'm going to take it, slide it all the way back. That's it. It's put back together. Again, safe direction. It's empty. I'm going to pull the trigger. It is totally reassembled, ready to go, ready to use at the range. That's pretty much it. The Glock is a very simple handgun. I really do like it. I like the ease of simplicity. If you know how to do everything I just showed you with this firearm, it pertains to every other Glock out there. They're all the same. They all have these 2 little tabs. They all have the same trigger. They all have the same mag release. They all have the same slide. They all have the same barrel. When I say the same, obviously there's different calibers, different sizes, but the concept, the general concept is exactly the same. Magazines for Glock, they're again all exactly the same. Whether it's a 6 round, a 10 round, a 15 round, a 30 round, whatever they come in, they're all the same. So I hope you found this helpful. If you do, please like, please subscribe. If you have questions, let me know. If you want to see a specific video, if you want to see the cleaning video, if you want to see something that I maybe didn't talk about, please let me know. I've owned Glocks for many, many years. I'm very familiar with them, and I'm here to help you guys. So like, subscribe, and leave a comment. Thank you.